My dear friends, let's take some tzedakah, put it in the pushka. Chanukah geld. Remember to give Chanukah geld to your kinderlach and encourage them to give tzedakah. Encourage the kinderlach. Something specific about Chanukah and the kinderlach. The dreidel is all about the Mesiras Nefesh, the self-sacrifice that our little kids had. They were going into the woods and study Torah. The Gemara says, Talmud says, when the Gemara Shabbos discusses the whole event of Chanukah, says the Gemara the following: when the Yevonim, the Assyrians, or generally called the Greeks, when they entered to the Heichal, to the hall of in the Beis Hamikdash, they defiled all the oils which was in the Heichal. Then, when the kingdom of the Chashmonoim succeeded, and they were victorious, they searched and they only found one jug of oil. And as the Gemara continues, which was lying there. There was still one jug of oil that had the seal of the high priest. Now, what are we concerned about over here? We're concerned about that they found pure oil. Why is it necessary to emphasize that it had the seal of the high priest rather than saying that they could have said simply, they only found one jug of oil which was pure. What's the emphasis that it had the seal of the high priest? So there's something particular here that the high priest represents, that they found that, and this is where the miracle was, that he found the oil of the high priest. And then we know the rest. This one oil, this one jug, lasted for 8 days. What's so unique about the high priest? This really symbolizes what was the battle between the Chashmonoim and the Assyrians. What do they really want? So how was it explained? That the Greeks, the Assyrians didn't want to kill us physically. They wanted to defile us. Shemen, oil, according to Kabbalah, represents wisdom, chachma. They wanted to defile the Jewish wisdom. They were not out against destroying us physically. They weren't out against eradicating all intelligence for us. No, they wanted us to be intelligent. Greeks, culture, beauty, philosophy. But what did they want? To defile our thinking. To take the Yiddish kinderlach, to take the Jewish kids and render them scientists. Not that we have anything against scientists, but the point is that they should look at everything from the perspective of science, rather than looking from the perspective of Judaism, rather than looking from the purity of the soul of a Jew. Applied sciences are all good tools, but this should not be our perception. We should not look at the world through the lens of science. We have to look at the world through the Chaisim Shel Kohen Gadol, through the seal of the Kohen Gadol. What does that mean? The Kohen Gadol, as we know, was living in Jerusalem. The Kohen Gadol was sitting a whole day in the Beis Hamikdash. This was his quarters. His house was in Jerusalem. He wasn't allowed to leave from there. His entire Weltanschauung, his entire perception, his entire identity, his entire mindset was all about what? The holiness of the Beis Hamikdash, the perfection, the holiness of Yerushalayim, Mir HaKodesh, of the holiness of Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim, fear, the complete fear of God, the complete of perfection which Yerushalayim represents. This is what they wanted to defile. Says the Talmud that the miracle was that we found one jug of oil with that seal. In other words, as successful as they were, unfortunately, to influence many a people, as were those assimilationists, the Misyavnim as they were called. But there was always the Chaisim Shel Kohen Gadol. Even by the one who assimilated, the seal of the Kohen Gadol, the essence of the Kohen Gadol, the essence of our purity, they couldn't defile. For us to realize that even Chas v'Sholem, when we have a Jew who is outside, which is what the menorah is all about, to light to the outside, go outside while he is outside, while she's still outside. She hasn't come into the Jewish home. She hasn't come into the Beis Hamikdash. She hasn't come into the area where the menorah is lit. They're still wandering in the darkness of outside. Bring that light out there, because the purity, the essence of the Jew, cannot be defiled. That's the message. And this is what brings us to merit immediately the rebuilding and the lighting, the rebuilding of the Beis Hamikdash and the lighting the menorah in the Beis Hamikdash with Mashiach now.